Hi friends, please subscribe and like my channel.
After 2 decades, my wife left me for her boss. My stepdaughter declared he could offer them a superior life. I sacrificed everything for them. Now that he's gone, they want a return. I chose to walk away. I shared this on a forum seeking perspectives. 3 years. That's the duration of my marriage to Elise. It wasn't a perfect romance, but I believed in our bond. We met at a local charity event where she was helping out. Her warmth, her grace, the way she juggled motherhood with her teenage daughter while still giving back, it captivated me. I was drawn to her spirit. Perhaps that's why I overlooked the warning signs. When we wed, I didn't just gain a spouse. I embraced her daughter, Nora, who was 14 then, guarded and distant. Winning her trust took effort. I drove her to classes, rooted for her at soccer matches, stayed up late explaining algebra. Eventually, she called me Dad. That title felt like a badge of honor, a shield I wore proudly. I thought we were a unit, a family. But love, true love, can't stand against ambition cloaked as opportunity. Elise was a personal assistant at a tech firm. Her boss, Marcus, was everything I wasn't. Polished, affluent, charismatic. I was a high school teacher, comfortable but not flashy. I didn't own a luxury car or jet off for weekend getaways. I offered reliability, not thrill. The shift was gradual. Elise began dressing sharper, more expensively. She stayed late at work, claiming Marcus needed her for high-stakes presentations. Her laughter at my humor faded and her texts dwindled. Nora, once warm around me, grew detached. Then, one Thursday evening, Elise sat me down at our dining table. No emotion, no regret. "I'm leaving," she said plainly. "I'm with Marcus now." My teacup slipped, shattering on the floor, the sound echoing like a storm. "You're what?" I stammered. "It's better this way. Marcus can provide a better future for me and Nora." And just like that, 3 years of my life dissolved. Nora stood by her mother, expression cold. "You were fine, but Marcus, he's just on another plane," she said. "Mom deserves better. So do I." That night, I packed a single suitcase and left my own home. The walls felt suffocating. I surrendered everything, let Elise keep the furniture, didn't contest the car, signed the divorce papers without a fight. She didn't ask for support. Marcus was covering everything after all. I moved into a small apartment near my school, reeking of stale air and faded hopes. But sometimes, loss carves the deepest lessons. Over the next few years, I rebuilt. I taught extra classes, saved every penny, and stopped dwelling on Elise and Nora. Counseling helped, as did morning jogs and late-night writing. I earned a promotion to assistant principal. Then, by chance, my brother and I turned a side hustle, an educational platform, into a thriving venture. 3 years later, we sold it for a 7-figure sum. I bought a proper house with a backyard, a study, and walls that felt like home. I even began dating again, cautiously. I hadn't heard from Elise or Nora since they left, until last autumn. It began with a social media connection, then a message. "Hey, it's been a while. Can we talk over coffee?" Elise wrote. I ignored it. Days later, an email, then a voicemail. Then Nora messaged, "I was immature. I miss having a real dad." I didn't respond. Then Elise appeared at my school, waiting at the reception like a parent picking up a kid. She looked aged, weary, her designer outfits gone, her face etched with new lines. "Marcus is gone," she said before I could speak. "He's broke. He took everything and left. His debts caught up and we lost the apartment." Nora's paused her studies. We're at my sister's now. I stood, arms crossed, unmoved. And? I messed up, she said. I thought Marcus was the answer, but he used us. I never should have left you. She reached for my hand. I stepped back. I gave you everything, my loyalty, my heart. I raised your daughter like my own when her real father vanished, and you both discarded me like an outdated gadget. I know, she murmured, but maybe we could try again, even as friends? I searched her eyes for truth. It might have been there, but it didn't matter. I've moved on, Elise, I said. You chase something glitzier. Now that it's dulled, you want refuge. I'm not it. She tried to speak, but I was already leaving. Nora messaged again that night. I thought wealth was everything. I was wrong. I'm sorry. I didn't reply. Some people only see your value after they've traded you away. You don't have to let them back in. Some stories don't need sequels. Sometimes walking away is the only choice. 2 weeks later, I thought it was over. Then came a letter in a cream envelope, Nora's handwriting. Inside, a 3-page apology that slid into manipulation. I was a foolish kid. I thought Marcus's money made him better. But he hurt Mom, physically. When his wealth dried up, he abandoned us. You were my only father, and I treated you horribly. But maybe you can still help us. You were always the one who fixed things. It felt genuine, but it reeked of need. They didn't want me. They wanted a safety net. I tore the letter to pieces, but Elise wasn't finished. One stormy Saturday night, she showed up at my doorstep, soaked, makeup running, clutching a bottle of red wine. Please, just 5 minutes. I have nowhere else. I let her in, craving finality. She sat on my sofa, hands shaking. I lied, she confessed. Marcus and I started before we split. I told Nora to make her support me to justify my choice. I thought you'd be okay without us. I stayed silent, listening. But he never cared, she whispered. I was just convenient. When his business crashed, he left me for someone richer. Now Nora blames me and won't even look at me. Why are you here? I asked. Her eyes shimmered. I want another chance. You had it, I said, voice steady. The day I stepped into your life and raised your daughter, you burned that bridge. I made a mistake, she pleaded. No, I countered. You made a decision. You didn't just betray me. You planned my exit, turned Nora against me for a fantasy. Now that it's crumbled, you want back in? She broke down, sobbing. Then came the bombshell. I'm pregnant, she whispered. I froze. What? Right before Marcus left. We weren't careful. I found out weeks ago. He's gone, blocked me. I've got no job, no insurance. I'm terrified. For a moment, pity flickered, but not enough to repeat the past. I'm not your savior, I said. I was your anchor once. You cut me loose. Now you face the waves alone. I opened the door. She left without a word, disappearing into the rain. I thought that was the end. Then Nora appeared at my office, 20 now, tougher, but with that same glint of want in her eyes. I want to live with you, she said bluntly. Mom's a wreck. I can't stay with her. You were my only real parent. I raised an eyebrow. Remember what you said? That Marcus could give you a better life? She looked away. I was young. You were old enough to choose, I replied. You didn't just side with her, you twisted the knife, made it clear I was replaceable. She bristled. So what? People mess up. You'll hold that forever? I stood, calm. Number, I've just accepted what I should have known then. I was never your father, just a role you used when it suited you. Her face fell. You don't mean that. I do, I said. You're not looking for me. You're looking for a lifeline. I'm not it. You chose your path. Walk it. She stormed out. That evening, I sipped whiskey and stared at the city lights. Peace settled in, not from revenge, but from letting go of their burdens. Some wounds never fully heal, but some lessons forge you stronger. I gave my all to people who valued me in dollars. When the dollars vanished, they remembered me. Too late. I'd already forgotten them. 3 months later, I thought the chaos had passed. Then came a thick, beige envelope marked Family Court Notice. Elise was suing me for spousal support and retroactive compensation for step-parental abandonment. The woman who left me for her boss, who deemed me insufficient, now wanted monthly payments because she was pregnant, jobless, and accustomed to a lifestyle I'd once supported. She listed it all: the house payments I'd made, the car I'd financed, my emotional duty to Nora, even claiming my app sale profits should be shared because she supported my teaching career during our brief marriage. I laughed, then called my attorney, Lauren Baxter. Sharp, relentless, no nonsense. Lauren skimmed the claim and smirked. They thought you'd cave. We filed for dismissal and compiled a fortress of evidence: receipts, emails, timelines. The court date arrived swiftly. Elise appeared, dressed plainly, her pregnancy a silent plea. Her lawyer, a theatrical type with slick hair, spun a sob story. Mr. Bennett deserted his wife and stepdaughter. His newfound wealth doesn't absolve his responsibility. Love doesn't just vanish, and financial duty is moral. I nearly snorted. Lauren rose, presenting a folder with indexed tabs, printed chronologies, and signed records. Emails where Elise admitted her affair. Bank statements showing my support post-separation. A timeline proving Elise and Marcus cohabited before I was served divorce papers. A copy of our prenup, where Elise waived alimony and future earnings. Then the knockout blow. Your Honor, Lauren said, my client was forcibly removed from this family by Elise and her daughter's choice. Now, post-Marcus, she's trying to reframe his kindness as obligation. She slid a USB drive forward. Exhibit C, please. The courtroom speakers played Nora's voice from an old social media clip. Mom deserves better than a struggling teacher. Marcus is wealthier, sharper, and going places. We're leveling up. The room fell silent. The judge leaned forward, unamused. I've seen bold moves, but this is audacious, he said. Mrs. Bennett, you left this man. You chose another partner freely with no coercion or hardship. Mr. Bennett's records show he went beyond for you and your daughter, to whom he owes no legal duty. He flipped through our evidence. Now you seek payment because your choices failed? Denied. Case dismissed with prejudice. Mrs. Bennett, be warned. Further attempts may be deemed harassment. I didn't gloat. I nodded and left the courtroom, free. Outside, Nora waited, jaw tight. You couldn't just help, could you? I faced her, steady. I did help. For 3 years, I loved you like my own. You chose otherwise. This is just the fallout catching up. Elise emerged, defeated. Not even for the baby? She asked, glancing at her stomach. I met her gaze. That child has a father. It's not me. Good luck. I walked away, for good. 6 months later, I relocated to Seattle for a new role, Director of Educational Strategy for a national nonprofit. I bought a home, adopted a dog, and met someone who valued me for me, not my paycheck or status. Elise? She had her baby and moved in with her mother. Marcus vanished. Nora? I heard she left college. She messaged once more, but I didn't respond. Some doors don't just shut, they bolt permanently. Thank you for watching Story. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell for more real-life stories.